Welcome to your February 2025 astrological forecast for all 12 signs. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate. I specialize in traditional, Western, and evolutionary astrology. I'm excited to share this month's transit forecast with you. Please like and subscribe as it helps the channel to grow. If you are new here, welcome. You can find more about my offerings at willowgracemystic.com. If you are a regular, thank you for always coming back and supporting me, sharing your journey with me. So February, the planetary spotlight falls on the energy of Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and Cancer. These signs are going to guide us through these rich blend of themes from community to connections, inner reflection, and throwing in a lot of personal growth. Aquarius energy is about innovation, it's social engagement, it's futuristic thinking, which makes this month a really ideal time in order for you to connect with others, to collaborate on these meaningful projects, which focus on having the big picture goal in mind. It's going to be a great time for you to explore digital advancements or to lend creative energy that can cause inspiration for you. You communicating with others and having these aha moments or gathering with others and then being inspired by something that's going on with them or an idea or a thought. Now, Pisces brings a more softer, more introspective energy. It's about intuitive opportunities for quiet reflection to bring us towards our artistic expression or healing or retreating to spaces where you can gather and recharge your energy. You might feel drawn to revisit some practices or habits that have supported you in the past, and it's about nurturing your creative and emotional well-being. This is mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychically being recharged and healed and in tune. Now, Venus in Aries, it's going to really light a fire under matters of love, finances, creative self-expression. There's going to be a lot of themes of independence and authenticity now move to center stage. There could be opportunities of challenge for you to embrace your unique path. This period is really going to invite you to be bold, to have this heartfelt action, but also it offers opportunities to refine or revisit your approach to your relationships or to your own self-expression. Then as Mars continues to truly light up the Cancer area of our chart, home, family, foundational matters, it creates these opportunities for deep healing, connection with loved ones. This is a time to resolve these old issues, to rebuild these stronger bonds, to explore what makes you feel secure. It's listening deeply to other people. It's also paying attention and listening to the inner whispers within yourself. And this can open up doors that create these lasting connections and transformation. This month really brings this dynamic interplay of these energies that it's blending forward momentum with moments of pause and introspection. Whether you're focused on building community or expressing yourself with creativity or nurturing your inner world, the planets are aligning to guide you through this journey. So transits to focus on. February is going to really start off our eclipse season again. The most important things to know about this is that every day as we move through the month of February, the likelihood of eclipse-related news or events, it increases dramatically. This is the pre-shadow time. This is a time when radical changes, they all of a sudden appear, and there's this karmic clearing that can be rapid, especially as you're pushing through. Now we have these two polarities that are still at play. The Aries Libra, this is the last chapter of this series that it's been running since 2023, and this new Pisces Virgo. It's this second chapter in a series that began the second half of 2024, and it's going to be here until 2027. So we have this ending of a shift and the beginning of a new, with the eclipses kicking off next month. So the first date I want to bring your attention to is February 3rd. we're going to have Mars in Cancer square off with Chiron in Aries. And so this can bring about tensions within the home, with family or housing. It can be bumps to your self-esteem or your confidence. There can be harsh criticism. Remember, squares are tension points that push us towards a change. So at the same time, we have Mercury in Aquarius, and this is in a harmonious trine with Jupiter and Gemini. So it's combining this difficult energy with ease and grace of where we're supposed to flow to. This is a harmonious aspect that really brings mental clarity, optimism, expansive thinking. The communication flows effortlessly. It's about making this the perfect time for networking, for brainstorming, for sharing big thoughts and big ideas. There can be insights into long-term goals that can now emerge, and there can be discussions that truly lead to exciting opportunities. This is ideal for studying, for writing, for teaching, or anything that you are connected with other people, that it's thoughts and ideas with curiosity piquing. There could be travel plans, especially short trips, that can be productive and inspiring. Use this time to pitch these innovative ideas or to negotiate contracts or agreements, or there can be differences in perspectives that help you to think outside the box with confidence. Then on February 4th, Jupiter is going to move direct and Venus is going to be entering Aries. So two major aspects, again, happening on the same day. So we have this big energy and enthusiasm for love and commitment with Venus entering Aries. So you can get excited about loved ones and enjoy taking the lead. Aries wants to initiate. And then Jupiter moving direct in Gemini. This is a beautiful energy because it's opportunities. They begin to open back up. When a planet is retrograde, it's inward. And so now you can pursue these ideas and push forth your plans that can feel more adventurous. It's like now like the channel opens up and you can move forward. On February 9th, we're going to have Mars in Cancer in a harmonious trine with Saturn in Pisces. And so this trine, it blends emotional determination with practical discipline. Mars in Cancer, it really channels this passionate energy into nurturing your goals, while Saturn in Pisces, it provides the structure. Remember, Saturn has the rings around it, and so think about it as the fence around the yard. And so it's the needed structure to take your dreams and turn them into a reality. This is an excellent time for you to work steadily on projects that require both creativity and perseverance. There can be relationships that can benefit from balanced emotional expression and your commitment that Saturn can bring in. This transit really supports creating stability in your personal and your professional spheres of your life, making it easier for you to navigate your responsibilities with a purpose and with a focus. Use this alignment to build emotional resilience and to lay the strong foundation for long-term success. We also are going to have the Sun in Aquarius in a conjunction with Mercury in Aquarius. And so this is a cazimi. And so this is like these ideas of something can now like culminate, and this can excite you. This is about new ideas that can flow your way, that the Sun is drawing your attention to, and it's about quick. And because Aquarius is think outside the box. Then on February 12th, we're going to have a full moon at 24 degrees of Leo. And we're also going to have the moon in Leo square Uranus and Taurus. Remember, squares are those hard aspects or those tense aspects. And so something can be irritating you. Remember, full moons bring about culminations, closures, endings. They illuminate what we didn't see to begin with, or their endings of sorts. And so this is about possibly wanting to break free, to be liberated from. This doesn't help if you are not seeing things clearly. So it's keeping your emotions and your feelings under control, because the Leo full moon is helping you connect with your heart space, and you can spend more time with people that you love or doing things that you love to do. Your creativity can surge. This can be a time to move forward or progress with these creative projects, or they can come to a culmination or end naturally on their own. And this is about being in the spotlight, seeing things, getting the attention of. On February 14th, Mercury now moves into the sign of Pisces. This greatly increases imagination. So you can use this to your advantage by focusing on creative projects, ventures that you want to look towards. You might prefer to do your own thinking alone now, and you can clear out your subconscious, yoga, meditation, by tuning into self. On February 23rd, Mars is now going to be moving direct. Mars moving forward again in the sign of Cancer after being retrograde and moving backwards since December is going to be a welcome respite. This lessens the frustrations and the aggravation, and now you can gain some control over your own internal emotional energy. We also have on the same day, Mercury is going to be in a harmonious aspect with Mars. And so we have Mars turning direct and being in a trine with Mercury. And so it's having these plans to work on ideas that can now get or deserve more of your attention. These can be old ideas, or these can be plans or ones that have been stalled or held off. With Mars being stationed retrograde, they can now move forward. On February 27th, you're going to have a new moon at 9 degrees of Pisces. And so this is going to be a beautiful time to plant the seeds of your intentions. New moons are fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And this new moon is in a square, a tense aspect with its ruler, Jupiter, in the sign of Gemini. And so this can be something that you lack energy for, or it can be you getting a break that like you're just not as focused. Remember, Pisces is very watery, it's unclear, it can be foggy, and so this is trying to get focused. And at the same time that all of this is going on, Mercury is in Pisces, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in Taurus. And so this is a lot going on. This aspect is truly saying, I'm going to give you tension here. I want you to move in flow here, and I want you to look for new beginnings, because this is sparking the intuitive insights for innovative problem solving. Mercury in Pisces is going to heighten your imagination, your empathy, while Uranus in Taurus is encouraging you to have these practical application for creative ideas. There can be unexpected but positive opportunities for growth that can now come from this. There can be ideas within communication, technology, or financial matters that are brought to your attention. This is really a great time for you to focus on brainstorming with unique solutions to your problems. This could be experimenting with new methods, new ideas, or engaging in meaningful conversations with other people. This is definitely a time for you to trust your intuition, your gut instinct, because it can lead to the breakthroughs in areas that felt stagnant for you. Look to embrace flexibility that brings openness to unexpected opportunities that lead to these results during this imaginative and inventive transit. Offerings this month. Join my Patreon community for exclusive astrology content, and as a member, you're going to gain ad-free early access to videos, live Zooms twice a month, and daily updates on what is going on out in the world. It's a perfect space if you're ready to dive deeper into the currents that lead your life. Go to the link below in the description and check out the different membership tier opportunities. I'm also offering a special for all Aquarius Sagittarians for your birthday and your solar return. Use the code Aquarius10 at checkout. This is a limited time discount. Schedule your appointment today and discover what the universe has in store for you for your year ahead. Additionally, I offer live astrology readings every other Tuesday night at 7 p.m. right here. Reserve your spot, get in the queue because spaces fill up fast. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you, helping you to navigate your journey. So let's dive in. So for Aries, I want to bring your attention to February 4th. You are going to now have Jupiter now stationing direct, and this is in your third house of communication, and we're going to have Venus now entering into the sign of Aries. This is your first house of yourself, your identity, and so the focus being on the way that you communicate, and the Jupiter direct brings in topics about opportunities for learning, for communicating, thoughts, ideas, networking. They can now like re-emerge because it was retrograde. And so this transit is really enhancing your curiosity, your adventurous spirit. It's making this a great time for you to pursue these new ideas within projects or short-term goals. Having Venus move into your first house of self is about you, your charm, your magnetism. The first house revolves around your strength, your habits, you being seen, your appearance. And so this brings a focus on personal relationships. It brings a focus on love, self-expression. It brings everybody's eyes on you. You're going to feel energized to like take the lead in matters of the heart, or you might want to indulge on something that has to do with like buying new clothes, doing something new with your hair. It's you taking notice about you. Next, I want to talk about February 9th. So February 9th, we have a couple of things going on. We have Mars in Cancer, and this is in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces. Now, a trine is a gift or a movement towards the planets are talking to each other and saying, let's work together with this energy. So we have a focus on home, and we have a focus on dreams, intuition, the hidden house. And so it brings about a balance of emotional drive with disciplined efforts, encouraging progress with family matters or in home projects, and with your own deep emotional healing. The 12th house is where we have that broken record, where we want to seek solitude. And so this is going to be an excellent time for building this long-term stability of creating a sacred space where you can unplug, and for you to address any deeply held dreams with practical solutions, because Saturn wants to bring those it wants to create a way in order to get those with short, middle, and long-term goals. You also have we're going to have Sun in Aquarius conjunct Mercury. And so this is a cazimi. It's highlighting, bringing to light a focus of 11th house topics for you. So hopes, wishes, dreams, goals, and how you network and how you want to make these things happen, who you gather with. And so there can be these new insights. It can be social opportunities that can come through with friends, or it can be star family. It can be work networking. These can be groups. This is about you making a quick decision that's related to your future goals or networking or collaborations. Then I want to move towards February 12th. So on February 12th, we're going to have this beautiful full moon in the sign of Leo. And so we have the sun illuminating your 11th house and bringing up topics of you and networking and collaborations with the full moon. Now, this full moon is also going to be square Uranus in Taurus. And so we have some things illuminated, some things ending with fifth house topics, children, creativity, your inner child. and where we're willing to take a risk. It could be lovers, it could be art projects, creative music. And so the square with Uranus and Taurus is in your second house of your self-worth, your cash, your property, and your resources. And so this can be about creative projects can now end, and it could be a natural ending. It's just like the class ended, the workshop ended, or you finished the projects. You could now feel inspired to connect with loved ones or focused on hobbies that can bring joy. Or this is taking this to the next level of, do I want this side gig? Do I want to sell it? Do I want to make money from it? Be mindful of any irritations that come up surrounding your finances or things that like your personal values. It's about finding balance before making the impulsive decisions, because wherever Uranus is, it's we can never plan for it. Uranus is always, it's the maverick, it's shock and surprise, and so it's things happen quickly before we are ready to take stock of and make a plan for. As we look to February 14th, we now have Mercury moving into the sign of Pisces. Now, for you, this is about dreams, intuition, psychic ability. I love this because the 12th house is the hidden house. It heightens your intuition. It's about imaginative thinking. It's a time for introspection. This can be through creative projects, or this is also a time for you just to clear out that mental clutter. As we look to February 23rd, we now have Mars now stationing direct, and we have Mercury in Pisces. So let's get Mars. Mars is now going to move direct. Mars has been retrograde since December in your home sector. And we're going to have Mercury in Pisces, and it's going to be trine to Mars. So these two are working in a harmonious aspect to bring to fruition. So there can be this like a weight or relief from emotional stagnation, or you regaining control over your personal matters at home or within the family dynamics. Remember, the fourth house revolves around people that are within your home, but it's also ancestors, DNA. It's the fourth house is your living situation. It's your personal life. And so this is really going to be a great time for you to revisit or implement these ideas that have been on hold or have been stagnant. Your focus and your energy is going to really blend well for completing projects that are tied to personal or emotional goals. And this can revolve around self-care or sacred space. As we look to February 27th, we now have a new moon in the sign of Pisces. So you can see that the Pisces area of your life is just really being activated. I mean, like, you have all of these planets all at one time here, and I'm going to do a separate video on that because I could go on and on and on for that for like an hour. So a new moon is a fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. And so this new moon is going to be in a square with Jupiter in Gemini. And so we have this fresh start, but we also have this difficulty of my dreams, my intuition, my psychic ability with my third house of the way that I communicate, the way that I say things. And so this is really a powerful time to set intentions that are related to your healing, your spirituality, you needing the time for rest and recovery. The 12th house is also where we tap in to take the deep journey, to do the inner healing, to clear out our karmic debts in order to emerge healed and renewed. And it's clearing away karma, either from this lifetime or past lifetimes, but it's you making those things happen. On the same day, let me clear out this, we also have Mercury in Pisces. And Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication. Now, this is going to be in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. These two planets are talking together saying, hey, let's give ease and grace. Let's make this happen here. So again, the 12th house, dreams, intuition, getting those downloads, and your second house of cash, self-worth, property, things that like you need in order to feel secure, people, places, and things. And so this can be this powerful time for you to set these intentions that are related to spirituality, healing, rest, and it's saying, I can have these creative problem solving and intuitive breakthroughs in order to make these things happen. And also, I need to set my intentions for financial or personal arenas for me to feel secure. This is a great time for you to be innovative, to find these new ways in order to stabilize your personal assets, your personal resources. These transits this month are going to encourage you to have this ambition for introspection, to focus on your own personal growth, and to look at your relationships and to look for emotional stability. So Aries, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays where I offer astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community using the link below, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Taurus, I want to start off with February 4th, 2025, with Jupiter now stationing direct, and this is in your second house. And so we have Jupiter, the planet of abundance, gifts, and luck, in your second house of cash, property, resources. We also have Venus now moving into the sign of Aries. This is your 12th house, the house of the hidden, its intuition, dreams, psychic ability. And so with a focus being on your second house and a focus being on your 12th house, Jupiter direct is going to be bringing you these financial opportunities, these new ways of you building security, building your wealth. They can now open up. Remember, when a planet is retrograde, it's going within in order to catch yourself and say, what else can I do, like to do the inner work. And then when it moves direct, it's like, I've done the work, now let's move forward with the plan. And so this is going to be a time for you to explore these ideas and create these plans for increasing your own income and for you to be managing your resources more effectively. Then with Venus entering into Aries on the same day, this will be a period of introspection and a focus on yourself needing self-care, a place to isolate, a place to to recharge, to focus on your emotional healing, for creative inspiration, for private connections with loved ones. The next date I want to bring your attention to is going to be February 9th. Now, on the 9th, we're going to have a few things happen. We're going to have Mars in Cancer. So Mars now moving forward, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces. Again, remember, Mars is moving forward with the way that you communicate, who you communicate with, classes, workshops, all of new technology, and Saturn in Pisces in your 11th house of your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your goals. And so what it brings is this energy to have the discipline to align with things that can support communication or community involvement or teamwork. There can be collaborations with friends or other networks that you're part of. These can be group networks, or this can be like clubs or organizations, and this can solidify the long-term goals that you have. This is really going to be a good time for you to work steadily on writing projects or learning or connecting with your social circle. At the same time, we're also going to be having the sun in Aquarius at the top of your chart in your 10th house in a cazimi with the planet of Mercury. Now, Mercury is thoughts, ideas, communication, and rules, writing, contracts, and anything that has to do with the way that you communicate or short distance travel. And so we now have your 10th house being activated with this aha moment. And so it can bring about a recognition or progress within your career that can, or your public life or responsibilities. The 10th house is also the legacy that you want to leave behind. And so this is like the area of your life that's now being this aha moment brought to light. There can be these spark of new ideas or new opportunities or a way to showcase your expertise that can bring about excitement. As we move to February 12th, we now look at a full moon. Now, remember that full moons, they bring about endings, closures, culminations. And so the sun's still focused on the top of your chart with your career, your job. The full moon has to do with endings, closures, culminations. That is fourth house topics of home, family, foundation. The fourth house is your living situation. Now, it's in a square with Uranus and Taurus that has to do with you, your identity, how people see you. Squares are tense aspects that force change to happen. And so this one can be emotionally charged. And so there can be like full moons, endings and closures, but our emotions running high, that there can be emotional matters around that are related to home or your inner foundation or family, or this could be somebody moving out of the home, this could be selling a home, this could have something to do with encouraging these creative solutions in order for you to work through these long-standing issues. I am suggesting you avoid any impulse reactions during this time to personal irritations, just to be cognizant and aware of. Instead, looking to this to channel your energy into meaningful and constructive change. Then, as we look to February 14th, we now have Mercury entering into the sign of Pisces. Mercury moving into Pisces, it just frees everything. It flows everything. The 11th house has to do with your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, and conveying that information to other people. And so it's imaginative thinking. It's inspiration within these group settings or these friendships. It's you collaborating with other people and sparking this interest. And so this is a really great time for you to brainstorm or to collaborate on creative ventures or topics with other like-minded individuals. As we move to February 23rd, we're now looking at Mars moving direct, and we're looking at, I'm loving that Mars is finally moving direct, because it's now going to clear up some areas of your life where you felt stagnant. And we're going to have Mercury in Pisces, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect with Mars. And so we have a couple of things happening. We have the third house of your life being sparked, the way that you communicate, who you communicate with, neighbors, siblings, cousins. It's literally like networking within your own community. And so there can be this progress within communications where you felt held back or things were like stifled. And this is about learning or local communities or local activities that now you can get back to where you were. You can resume after you've had these delays. There can be relationships within your social circles that can now feel reconnected or reinvigorated. You can revisit these ideas to projects that involve friends or networks or technology that was previously stalled or stagnant. As we look to February 27th, we now have a few things happening. We have a beautiful new moon in this watery sign of Pisces, but it comes with a square to Jupiter in Gemini. And so we have these fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings with your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your goals. And the square to Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter wants to expand. And Gemini, it's in many different directions. And this has to do with your cash, your property, your resources, your skill set. And so this is a chance for you to set intentions for friendships or for community goals or for these long-term dreams that you have, and look to this as I need to be cautious about overcommitting financially or stretching yourself too thin. We're also going to have, I'm going to have a separate video on everything that's going to be going on in this house at this time because it's a lot. We also have Mercury in Pisces, and it is in a harmonious aspect with who you are. So the tense aspect that you're having, this is the positive that's also going to come from it. Having Mercury in Pisces, remember, this is the way that you're communicating, and this is I'm coming up with an innovative solution and an intuitive breakthrough that can transform how you approach your personal and your group dynamics. Remember, it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus in your first house, so we know that this is you. And so this is you trusting your gut to be open to these unexpected opportunities, these breakthroughs, these opportunities for growth and for a reinvention of who you are. This is the month of February is highlighting themes for you to focus on financial stability, your social interactions, your own personal development for the month of February. So for Taurus, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays where I offer astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community where I update daily, and we have 2 monthly live Zooms. And don't forget to subscribe. So for Gemini, I want to talk about February 4th. I want to start there with Jupiter now moving direct in your sign. So this is really going to feel good to you. It's going to be able to open some things up. Jupiter in your first house of self has you scattered in many different directions, but lately it's been inward since December. And so we also have Venus moving into Aries in your sector of dreams and goals and the way that you network, where you want to network, things that you want to do. And so Jupiter now moving direct in your first house, it's going to give you this renewed sense of optimism, confidence, and personal opportunities are now going to expand. It's where you were stagnant, you're now going to be able to move forward. There's going to be this a great opportunity or a great time for you to focus on your own self-improvement, setting new goals, pursuing these adventures with these ideas that you've been culminating over the last several months since December. Now, having Venus move into Aries, this also brings about enthusiasm and your connections to your close friends or within group activities. The 11th house is who you network with in order to move forward with things that you want to do. And so this could be about you taking the lead within social circles or networks and you possibly feeling more engaged with your community goals. Next, I want to talk about February 9th. So on the 9th, we're now going to have Mars in a harmonious aspect to Saturn in Pisces. And so this is important because it's at the top of your chart. This is your career, your job, your responsibility. And now with Mars moving direct, he's now making all of these aspects to clear up some of the things that he's been working on. In your second house of cash, property, your skill set, money, resources. This is about having the financial discipline combined with career determination or the legacy that you want to leave behind or responsibilities that you hold. And this is making this a really productive time for you to stabilize your income, for you to pursue these long-term goals within that are either professional or personal. And there can be relationships at work or at home that can truly benefit from this balanced emotional expression and for you to be able to set these clear boundaries. The same day, we're also going to be having a cazimi. So a cazimi is when a planet meets up with the sun. And so it's in the heart of the sun. And so Mercury, your chart ruler, is going to be combining its energy with the sun in your 9th house of it's you connected to where you want to travel to, publishing things, legal matters, cross-cultural experiences, it's visas, it's passports. And so what this cazimi can bring is these aha moments with developments within education or in travel or in your spiritual pursuits, legal matters, publishing. There can be these new ideas, these new perspectives that can really help lead to these transformative insights or plans as you move forward. Then on February 12th, I want to bring your attention to this full moon. Now, full moons always bring about endings, closures, culminations, and so this one has to do with endings that have to do with classes or workshops, or and these can be natural endings. It's focused on the completion of projects. Now, this one comes with a square to Uranus. Squares are tense points. They are opportunities to, they challenge us in order to push us towards change. And so it being in your 12th house of needing respite, needing, it's things that take us away from our everyday life. And so there can be completion of projects that are related to communication or writing or learning. And this is going to be a time to shine in areas that require self-expression. Be mindful of hidden frustrations that can come up, because the 12th house is like, it's the hidden house. It's you needing to channel this into productive or creative pursuits rather than these impulsive actions. Paying attention for the need to tune into who you are, the need for rest, recovery, and your own personal space. As we look to February 14th, we now have Mercury, your chart ruler, always important for you to be following that, moving to the top of your chart. I love this for you because this is focusing on your career, your job, your legacy, your reputation, it's heightened intuition for you. It's about creativity within your career, within your responsibilities. Use this period to truly think outside the box for your professional growth, focusing on these long-term goals with a fresh perspective. Then on February 23rd, we're going to look at Mars now moving direct, and I'm loving this, and it's in your second house of cash, property, self-worth, your personal skill set, and it's in a we have Mercury in Pisces, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect, working with it. And so the focus is on a boost with financial motivation, clarity in your professional planning. This can be projects that are tied to your income or your career and looking for an advancement or a raise or a promotion or something that brings you into the spotlight to be acknowledged for. And this is about advancement, moving forward after many delays. There can be past ideas or efforts that now can come back into focus, providing these opportunities to revisit and to refine them. Next, on February 27th, we're going to have this beautiful new moon, and it will be at the top of your chart. And new moons are fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. This new moon comes at a square with who you are, a tension point of how do I work through this? What does this look like? And so having a new moon at the top of your chart is a time for you to set intentions for your career growth, for your responsibilities, for public achievements. Avoid overextending yourself, but focus on realistic and actionable plans, because Jupiter in your first house wants to go off in many different directions. Now, at the same time, we're going to have Mercury in Pisces. So I'm going to bring up this guy in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. This is coinciding at the same time. So this is like where the opportunity lies. Again, the focus is still on Mercury, the way that you're communicating who you are, your identity, your authority, your career, your public life, your professional ambitions. And it's you coming up with these innovative ideas or these breakthroughs that can enhance your professional life. There can be unexpected opportunities that can now just show up that can shift your career in a different direction, or that can help resolve these long-standing challenges. The transits this month are going to highlight themes for you for personal growth. It's going to be a career with a focus on your public standing or your reputation and your social connections for how you connect with other people. And so for the month of February, it's offering you this balance of creativity and practical progress. So Gemini, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays where I offer astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community and don't forget to subscribe. So for Cancer, I want to bring your attention to February 4th. This is when Jupiter is now going to be moving direct in the sign of Gemini for you. This is in your 12th house, the house that's hidden, intuition, psychic ability. So it's the house of isolation where we go to be alone. And so the same day, you're also going to be having Venus move into your career sector of your life. And so two big things. So I want to talk about Jupiter direct first. There can be these hidden opportunities within your subconscious, or these insights, dreams, intuition, psychic ability, ancestors, an end to spiritual retreats or an end to isolation, and an opportunity that things are now going to surface. And so this is a really good time for you to work on your own personal growth, your own spiritual healing, and truly releasing what no longer serves you. The 12th house is where we go to self-isolate, to heal, and to renew. And so now things are going to start to move direct and to pull forward. Like the light is now going to come back on, and it's a time to like get this idea and say, I get it, this is what I have to do, and I've done the shadow work. Having Venus move into the sign of Aries brings warmth and charm to your professional life. You might feel like that you're getting the recognition for your efforts now. It could improve your relationships with colleagues or other people that you are working with, because it's also the house of legacy and reputation. Or you might feel inspired to truly just take the lead with topics that have to do with your career. I want to then talk about February 9th. As we move to the 9th, the energy shifts to Mars, which is in your first house, and it's all about you. And it's, Mars, remember, wants to cut, wants to sever, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is has the limitations. It's the boundaries. It has the rings that go around it, and it's in your 9th house of experiences with other people, passports and visas and traveling and religion and spirituality. And so this transit is really focusing on you and what you want to do. There's this emotional drive with practical discipline that's going to combine and empower you to take the action within your own personal goals, within your own long-term aspirations. Like, make a plan. If you want to go there, making it happen. You want to take that class, making it happen. The 9th house revolves around topics of teaching and learning and experiencing things that are out there. It's also the house of legal matters and publishing things. So this is the perfect time for committing to higher learning or publishing, or this could be spiritual growth or planning for travel or legal matters or publishing ventures. At the same time, we're also going to be having a cazimi. Cazimi is when a planet meets up with the sun and merges its energy. And so we have Mercury, thoughts, ideas, and communication, now in the heart of the sun, in your 8th house of your shared resources. This is about focusing on your joint finances, where your money or your time or your effort is invested with other people, places, and things. So this could be shared resources that now come to the forefront. This could be your investments. There can be new ideas or solutions regarding debt, taxes, partnership, like alimony and child support, that can excite you and lead to truly productive outcomes. Next, I want to bring your attention to February 12th. You're going to have a beautiful full moon, but this full moon is square to Uranus and Taurus. And so full moons are culminations, closures, endings, and the sun is focused on you connected with other people, your joint ventures. The eighth house for you also is the house of healing after loss. It's the house of transformation, birth, death, and rebirth. The full moon that brings endings and culminations and closures has to do with your second house of cash, property, self-worth, things that you need in order to feel safe and secure. So there can be a peak in these financial matters or within your self-worth, or possibly related to group efforts or where your money is invested in. Or it could have to do with social networks, because we have this square to Uranus in your 11th house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, and who you network with. And so be mindful of sudden disruptions or these frustrations that can come about, because full moons reveal what we didn't see before, and look to channel this into creative problem solving rather than reactive behavior. Then on February 14th, we look to Mercury now entering into the sign of Pisces. And so Mercury moving into your 9th house brings about expansive thinking, creative ideas, higher education, spiritual pursuits, religion, faith, hope, belief, and these traveling there, these experiences, publishing, legal matters. And so this is really going to be a good time for you to explore philosophical or imaginative projects with other people. It's like I'm ready to dive in and look towards more creativity. As we look to February 23rd, we now have Mars moving direct in your first house of self. So hallelujah for that. It'll like free some things up for you. It just will feel better about yourself, because it's been retrograde since December, and I'm sure that you've been feeling it. And so it's like personal momentum, and it returns after all of these delays. It's allowing you to truly regain your focus on your long-term goals. Now, it's in a harmonious aspect with Mercury that is in your 9th house. And so we talked about Mercury moving into Pisces. Now you're going to be able to follow through with those ideas. This is about your past ideas that you wanted to explore for travel or for education or for creative projects. Now it's going to like re-emerge, and it'll be an opportunity for you to take meaningful action to move forward with it. It's like you've sat with it, you've contemplated it, you've made the plan, and now it's time to execute the plan. As we look to February 27th, we now have a new moon in the sign of Pisces. So you can see that this area of your life is truly activated. And I'm going to have a separate video on this because there's so many planets here. But a new moon is a time for fresh start, clean slate, new beginning, planting the seeds. And so this one comes in a square with Jupiter in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of isolation or being hidden or dreams, intuition, psychic ability. Squares always push us to it pushes us to make a change. It makes us uncomfortable in order to push to make a change. And so now you're going to have this opportunity to set your intentions for your own personal growth, for higher education, spiritual exploration. And I'm encouraging you to watch on overextending yourself and focus on realistic and actionable goals, because the 12th house is reminding us of self-care. At the same time, we're going to have Mercury in Pisces also in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus, and this is where the magic happens. This is about intuitive breakthroughs, this innovative thinking that how can I transform my approach to learning or community involvement. And so there can be these unexpected opportunities that come up for collaboration or networking or sharing what your vision is with a wider audience. Know that the transits of February are emphasizing themes for you that revolve around personal growth, professional recognition, and for you to expand your horizons. So Cancer, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays where I offer astrology consultations. For a personal consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community and don't forget to subscribe. So for Leo, I want to bring your attention to February 4th. You're now going to have Jupiter stationing direct. Hallelujah. It's going to feel so good. And it is going to be in your 11th house of your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your goals, and who you network with. We have a couple things going on. You're also going to have Venus moving into the sign of Aries. I love this because this is Venus is the goddess of love and beauty. It's in a harmonious aspect with your first house of identity. So bringing up topics of your 11th house where now there can be these opportunities to reopen your social networks. This can be about friendships, a reconnection, because Jupiter stationing retrograde had you pulling within and like reevaluating some things. There can be a refocus on your long-term goals. This is going to be a great time for you to focus on collaborations or community-oriented projects or goals. Having Venus move into the sign of Aries brings about this enthusiasm for exploration and expansion of your mind, wanting to travel, wanting to network, higher education, this legal matters, publishing. The ninth house brings about topics of connecting with foreign people, places, and things. And so you might feel inspired to now take the lead in sharing your knowledge, teaching a class, teaching a workshop, or just sharing with others you looking at, I want to pursue new adventures. As I look to February 9th, we now look at Mars in Cancer. And it's in your 12th house, so it's been there since December, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces. And so Saturn brings about limitations, time. Remember, it has the rings around it, so I think about it as the fence around the yard. And the 12th house brings about topics of isolation or dreams or it's self-sacrifice. And so this is a harmonious aspect, including these two houses, and so it's about emotional resilience. It's combining with practical discipline, bringing in Saturn here, that supports your healing and your transformational work. This is going to be an excellent time for you to address any subconscious patterns. Remember, the 12th house is that broken record that either people have said things to us, or it's karma, or that we believe in ourselves. And so it's about releasing yourself from those subconscious patterns. And this is also the 8th house is the house of healing after transformation. And so it's where we are connected with other people. And so it could also be releasing from shared financial matters or deeply held goals or things that require a lot of time or effort, like mental stamina. Now, on the same day, we're going to have a cazimi. A cazimi is when the sun combines or is conjunct with another planet. And so this is the planet of Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication, and it's writing and journaling. And so it's in your partnership sector. And so it's an aha moment. It's when you get this spark of innovative ideas, of excitement within partnerships. And this can be best friends, significant others, clients, open enemies, exes. It's the house of collaboration, whether it's personal or professional for you. And so this is going to be a great time for collaborations or agreements that you can use that align with your vision. Next, on February 12th, we are going to have this full moon. Full moon is with the sun focused on partnership and the full moon within your first house of self and identity. Remember, full moons, they reveal to us things that were once hidden. They're a culmination or an ending. And so this one comes with a square to Uranus at the top of your chart. Squares are tense points, and so this is a culmination of your own personal goals or your own self-expression. And so this is you shining brightly, drawing the attention to your achievements and your own individuality. be mindful of the frustrations that can come with your career or being in the public spotlight. Channel them constructively in order to avoid these impulsive reactions that Uranus can bring. Next, on February 14th, we now have Mercury entering into the sign of Pisces. And so Mercury joining this cluster here. Mercury is bringing into your 8th house. Remember, the 8th house is you with other people. It's like inheritances and shared resources. It's the house of healing that comes from death of a sort, or an ending of sorts. And so there's heightened intuition, there's creativity within your shared resources, your interconnectedness, and there can be intimate connections that can come from this or these transformative projects. Use this time to explore the deeper, more emotional and spiritual truths that can come from Mercury diving into Pisces. Because the 8th house is the house of taboo topics and intimate connections, this is speaking and sharing and connecting on more than mind, and more in with heart and soul. Next, on February 23rd, we're going to have, there we go, Mars moving direct. And this will be a welcomed respite. And it's going to be in a harmonious aspect with Mercury and Pisces. And so these two planets are working together. Mars in your 12th house, it's been retrograde since December of last year. So I'm sure that you've been feeling it. It's like taking you away from the public's eye, pulling back and drawing and saying, I need to focus on my own mental, physical health and well-being. Now you can have this personal clarity as you are able to regain control over your inner frustrations. There can be progress that resumes in your emotional healing within resolving these hidden challenges that have come up. There can be past ideas or issues that are related to shared financial or deep emotional work that can now move forward more productively. These two planets working together saying, let's tackle the taboo topics. Let's dive into the heart of the matter to heal the heart of the matter. Then on the 27th, you're going to have a new moon. Now, new moons are known for fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And so you can see that this area of your life is really being activated. And so this is a chance for you to set these intentions around your intimate partners, and this could be business partners or significant others. This can also be with exes because you share a connection with like alimony and child support. It can also be family members. And so this is emotional intimacy, transformative goals. I'm going to encourage you to avoid overcommitting to social obligations. This is going to be in a square to Jupiter in Gemini, in your dreams, hopes, wishes, goals, network of your life. And so together, this is saying, I need to focus on some realistic steps here to balance my personal growth with my communal needs to connect with others. We also have on the same day, Mercury in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. So there's this difficulty that's pushing us to change, and then this is where the ease and flow come from. So we have these intuitive flashes, these aha moments, these ideas that within your career, your job, your responsibility, your legacy, there's these ideas that emerge related to your career or shared resources or your long-term transformation. I'm encouraging you to look to be open to unexpected breakthroughs in your professional or your financial matters, and because these can lead to this like exciting growth opportunities that is not just healing but can be beneficial for you. The transits this month for you are about transformation, healing, self-expression, and collaboration. So Leo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays where I offer astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Virgo, I want to start off with February 4th, 2025. You are going to now have Jupiter moving direct at the top of your chart. This will be such a relief for you because this is about your job, your career, your responsibilities. It's also about your legacy, your reputation, and the place in which you want to go to. Now, we're going to have Jupiter moving direct, and you're going to have Venus now moving into your 8th house of your intimate sector, your shared resources that you have with other people. And so Jupiter direct first is about career and public achievements. It's about now gaining momentum and moving forward where you felt stagnant. There can be these opportunities to grow professionally, and you sharing your expertise can now reemerge. Venus moving into the sign of Aries focuses on your emotional intimacy. It's about shared resources, financial partnerships. This can be with business partners or life partners or exes or family members. It's the people that you are most connected with. And so you might feel motivated to strengthen these bonds and to take the lead in resolving some shared matters, like those taboo topics. The 8th house is, let's broach these taboo topics. Let's open it up and have this discussion and clear the air. As we move to February 9th, we're now going to have Mars in Cancer, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect. Remember, we still have Mars stationing retrograde, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces. Now, Saturn is in your partnership sector, your business partner, significant other, it's collaborations, it's your connection to other people. And so bringing in these two themes, it's a blend of emotional determination with practical discipline in order to support progress within friendships, your group endeavors, your partnerships. The 11th house is where my goals and who I collaborate with in order to achieve those. And those can be personal or professional. It can also be wanting to support the whole, the good of the community. And so your relationships, both personal and professional, they can benefit from the steady commitment and the mutual respect and support that can come from Saturn and Pisces. Now, at the same time, we're also going to be having a cazimi, Sun-Mercury cazimi. It's when a planet is in the heart of the sun or conjunct with the sun. It's an aha moment. It's I see it. It's an idea. And so as this is going on, you're going to have this breakthrough moment with your day-to-day living. The 6th house is your house of physical, mental, spiritual health, well-being. How do I balance my work? How do I balance my career? How do I take care of myself? How am I of service to other people? And so there can be this breakthrough or this culmination within your work, or you're within your daily routines. And so there can be new ideas or an innovative solution that can improve your productivity, and or it can also lead to your overall health and wellness. As we move to February 12th, we're going to have a full moon. Full moons always bring about endings, closures, culminations. So we still have the sun focused on you and your day-to-day living, and the full moon has to do with 12th house topics. It's endings of being isolated, being alone, being in the shadow, self-sacrifice, karma. The 12th house is also where we connect to the spiritual realm, dreams, intuition, psychic ability, astral travel, astral projection. And so having a full moon here, there can be emotional insights, like getting a message or hidden matters that can now come to the light, helping you to release what no longer serves you. Sometimes it's just you being mindful of the disruptions within your belief system or your long-term plans, and it's about practicing patience and flexibility for this, because this full moon is in a square to Uranus, and it's not just about revealing some things. It's the shock and surprise, and I wasn't ready for that, and the ideas that just come to bring the clarity. It's, oh, I didn't get it, I didn't understand that, now I see it, and then ending it, moving on from that. As we move to February 14th, we now have Mercury entering into the sign of Pisces. I like Mercury in Pisces for you because Mercury is your chart ruler. And so wherever it is, it rules over you and your career. And so the 7th house is the +1 house. It's you with everybody else. Business partners, significant others, collaborations. It's an increase in imagination for you and an empathy within your relationships, your partnerships. This is going to be a great time for you to have those heart-to-heart conversations or creative collaborations within partnerships. It's the house of clients, consultations, business partners, significant others, and it's also open enemies and exes. And this is like having heart-centered conversations that is peaceful and harmonious. As we move to February 23rd, we now look at Mars moving direct. Hallelujah. Mars moving direct in your 11th house of dreams, goals, network, hopes, and aspirations. Now, at the same time, we're going to have Mars moving direct. It is going to also be in a harmonious aspect with Mercury, your chart ruler, in the sign of Pisces. I like this because the 11th house has to do with what are your goals? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to collaborate with? And so progress can now resume with group projects, your social aspirations, your friendships, your networks, your social groups that were previously stalled or you felt were stagnant. And so now you have partnerships, both personal and professional. They can now benefit from clear communication and this renewed energy. It's about being able to say what I mean in a peaceful, loving manner. As we look to the 27th, we're now going to have this new moon in the sign of Pisces. So you can see that this area of your life is totally lit up. I'm going to have a separate video on this because of all these planets here, but having the new moon here is a fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. It's time to plant the seeds for your intentions. This new moon comes with a square to Jupiter in Gemini. How do I plant these seeds for what I want to do? And it includes a tense point for my responsibilities, my job, my career, my legacy, my reputation. Knowing this is you have this chance to set these intentions around relationships and partnerships, but be cautious about overextending yourself within your career or within your public commitments. At the same time, you're also going to have Mercury, your chart ruler, ruling over who you are and your career in a harmonious aspect to Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is the wild card. It's these think outside the box, aha, I get it moments. So these two are working together to come to a solution to the square, the tense that you're feeling. And so it's intuitive and innovative breakthroughs within relationships or legal matters. There can be these unexpected opportunities that can come up within education or travel or these philosophical pursuits, legal matters, publishing, that can now arise. And so it's encouraging you to have growth and adaptability. And so these transits for the month of February, they're really encouraging you to have professional growth, relationship dynamics are going to come into focus, and emotional clarity. So Virgo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays where I offer astrology consultations. For a private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community and don't forget to subscribe. So for Libra, I want to start off with February 4th, 2025 with Jupiter is now moving direct. I absolutely love this. It's in a harmonious aspect to your first house of your identity. Now Jupiter is going to be moving direct and you're going to have Venus moving into your partnership sector. And so both of these things combined. Jupiter in your 9th house brings about topics of I want to travel, I want to study this, I want to learn this, I want to explore my options. Jupiter direct gives you these opportunities for now travel, for higher education, for expanding your mind. It's like this worldview is now opening up for you. This is going to be a great time for you to pursue adventurous plans or philosophical studies, diving into religion or different beliefs. Venus in Aries brings about topics of you focusing on relationships or partnerships. These can be business or personal, and you feeling energized to truly take the lead within love or business collaborations and bringing in harmony or enthusiasm to all of the people that you are connected with. This can be business partners, significant others, clients, and best friends and significant others. As we look to February 9th, we're now going to have Mars in Cancer and still retrograde, but it's in a harmonious aspect. It's trining Saturn in Pisces. Now, Mars being at the top of your chart is still retrograde, focused on your career, your job, your responsibility, your legacy. Saturn in Pisces is trying to find this balance between the two with taking care of self. And so there can be this career progress that is supported by your disciplined efforts of finding a balance between what I give to work, what I give to myself, self-care in your daily routines, in your responsibilities. There can be relationships at work or in your professional settings that can benefit from more of a balanced emotional expression and a practical focus. At the same time, on the same day, we're going to have this cazimi. Cazimi is when a planet is in the heart of the sun, is conjunct with the sun. So we have Mercury blending with the sun's energy to magnify it. And so in your fifth house of fun, children, creativity, art, music, beauty, love, or your inner child. And so it's about this great opportunity, this aha moment of creative projects, romantic endeavors, more fun, more play, more joy. It's now going to reach its peak, and there's these new ideas or innovative solutions that can bring excitement to your day-to-day living and can progress in your daily life. As we look to February 12th, we're now going to have a full moon in the sign of Leo. And so the sun focused on fifth house, children, creativity, beauty, love, creative projects. And now we have an ending, a culmination, a closure of some sort that has to do with goals or networking. And so this can be a culmination of group activities. There can be friendships. The difficulty that comes with this full moon is there's a square to Uranus in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of intimacy. It's the house of taboo topics. And so the 8th house is where we go to heal from like birth, death, rebirth, and transformation. And so something can definitely be revealed at this time where you can, like either the project is ending or there can be some shock or surprise about group affiliations or the networks that you're part of that can be a sudden disruption. There could be also a sudden disruption within your intimate partnerships or your intimate relationships. Remember that the 8th house represents exes, but it's also business partners, significant others, and it can be family members if there is close-knit connections. The 8th house is where you are invested in. So this could be taxes or debt. And so you're going to need patience in order to navigate these challenges. As we look to February 14th, we're now going to have Mercury enter into the watery sign of Pisces. And so Mercury brings about an increased imagination here with empathy with your daily work or your daily routines. It's about I need self-care, and how do I take care of myself? How can I take care of myself before I'm of service to other people? This is a really good time to focus on creative projects that establish healthier habits for yourself, mentally, physically. Like this can be eating habits or getting rid of bad habits. Then on February 23rd, we're going to have Mars now moving direct. I'm so excited about this. Now, Mars moving direct is going to be at the top of your chart in your career sector, and it's going to be in a harmonious aspect with Mercury in Pisces. And so Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication in a harmonious aspect with balancing home and work and how am I going to make all of this happen. this is a beautiful opportunity because it's about momentum now gaining within your career, your daily responsibilities, where things were delayed or stalled professionally. These projects can now move forward. Past ideas that were stalled or stifled, the efforts within your work or healthcare, they can now grow and gain this traction. It's allowing for meaningful progress. Then on the 27th, we're now looking at a new moon. New moons are times to have a fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. There are a lot of things going on in this house. I'm going to have a separate video just for that because that planetary pileup is real. And so we have this new moon for a focus on you and your day-to-day habits of, okay, I'm ready to get rid of this. I'm ready to dive into this. I'm ready to start this. It's a chance to set these intentions that have to, that revolve around you improving your routines, your health, your work, your own environment. There is a square to Jupiter in Gemini. Squares are tense points of bringing to your attention that something needs to give, something needs to change. And so there can be an opportunity to overcommit to long-term goals. So use caution, focus on practical steps in order to create these habits that you want, or to get rid of these bad habits, or to create the patterns that you want in order for you to have good mental, physical health and well-being. This is you focusing on those topics. At the same time, we're going to have Mercury in the sign of Pisces in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. I love this because this is kind of like the solution of innovative ideas of, gosh, this is really hard. I don't know what to do. I don't have enough time in the day to make these things happen. And there can be now innovative strategies and ideas that can improve your workflow in order for you to manage your shared resources. There can be intuitive problem solving in order to have these breakthroughs or in financial or emotional matters that can now come up. There can be unexpected opportunities for growth that can arise within collaborations or projects that require both creativity and practicality. Libra, the month of February for you is about emphasizing partnerships and career progress and improving your daily routines. You focusing on yourself and saying, I have to prioritize self-care for me. So Libra, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community. And don't forget to subscribe. So for Scorpio, I want to start off with February 4th, 2025. We are going to have Jupiter now moving direct, which will be a sigh of relief for you because it's been retrograde in your 8th house of your shared resources since a very long time. So in your 8th house, Jupiter now moving direct is about opportunities that are now related to anything that has to do with shared resources, investments, debt, taxes, intimacy, personal transformation. It can now reopen. It's about a great time that you have been going inward to see where am I in relationship to others with my partnerships. They can be business partnerships, they can be intimate partnerships, financial partnerships. This retrograde period has been having you focus on your emotional healing. At the same time, we're also going to have Venus move into your 6th house of your day-to-day living, into the sign of Aries. Now, Venus here, she's going to bring this warmth, this enthusiasm to your day-to-day health and well-being, your lifestyle, your work, your routines. Venus here, she wants to improve your relationship with your coworkers. The 6th house is the balance between your home and your career. And it's improving things of you taking care of yourself, but also you feeling inspired in order to take the lead for improving your own well-being. So like quitting a habit or exercising more, any of those topics. As we look to February 9th, we now are at Mars in Cancer. And remember, Mars is still retrograde, and it's in your ninth house of cross-cultural experiences, visas, passports, traveling, publishing, legal matters. And it's in a harmonious aspect to Saturn and Pisces. I like this because Mars is now working with a supportive blend of drive and of discipline to pursue your educational desires or creative pursuits, or for you to look at these travel related goals. The fifth house has to do with creativity and art and music and beauty and love and children. And so this is really going to be perfect for long-term planning, your personal goals, projects, romantic endeavors. This is a time for balancing your passions with practicality. At the same time, we're going to be having a Sun-Mercury cazimi. A cazimi is when a planet is in the heart of the sun. It's merging the energy of the sun and the way that you communicate or travel into the spotlight. And so it's this aha moment. It's a breakthrough. It has something to do with home or family or foundations or roots. The fourth house is your living situation. It's the people that are in the home. And there can be like significant developments at this time within your family, or ideas that are related to property or your personal foundations, genealogy, DNA. Like this could be, oh, I found out I'm related to somebody, or it's a breakthrough. It's an aha moment. It's a spark of a quick activity or a quick action. Next, on February 12th, we're going to look at a full moon. Now, full moons, they always bring about endings, culminations, closures. Now, the sun is focused on your home. The full moon is within your career sector. There could be a responsibility or something that you're no longer responsible for, or you fulfilled the commitment to it, or there could be a project that ends. It's 10th house topics. What makes this one a little tricky is there's this square to Uranus in your 7th house of partnerships. The 7th house is others. And so there can be this culmination within career goals or public recognition, and maybe you're receiving the attention of your achievements, but there can be disruptions within partnerships that could create tension or difficulty. This could be with clients, best friends, significant others, open enemies, and exes. Look to be patient within the relationship dynamics and focus on these constructive solutions that can help you balance the career and your personal commitments. Then on February 14th, we are looking at Mercury now entering into the sign of Pisces. Now, Mercury thrives here. It's in your 5th house it's going to heighten creativity and imagination within your romantic pursuits or your relationships. There could be creative projects or these activities that involve children or your own inner child. This is a great time for artistic or spiritual pursuits and for you just to go after and to dive into. Don't be afraid. Not work from a space of fear. Next, on February 23rd, we are looking at Mars now moving direct. So with Mars moving direct, it's been retrograde since December. And so it's been a long time. And then we had that pre-retrograde period. And so 9th house topics involve cross-cultural experiences, publishing, legal matters, foreign people, places, and things. And so now it just feels like, yay, I can move forward. There's this forward momentum within educational or travel or publishing endeavors, and that once had been stalled or you felt stymied or held back. There can be creativity within communication and flow now, and it's about benefiting your personal projects and your hobbies and your romantic pursuits, because this is also in a harmonious aspect with Mercury, with Mercury and Pisces. And so these two are working together. You have Mars now saying, I can move forward with these projects that I want to do. And then Mercury is saying, let it be fun. Let it bring us joy. Let it bring us pleasure. Let's just not go do it for the sake of doing it. Let us learn something from it. So this is about benefiting from the hobbies or the romantic pursuits. Next, as we move to February 27th, We now have this new moon at 9 degrees of Pisces. New moons are fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. And I want to draw your attention to all of this that's going on here. I'm going to have a separate video coming out for that because that's a lot. But I want to focus on just the new moon for a second. This new moon is square to Jupiter in Gemini. Remember, squares are tense opportunities to it's tense in order to bring something to the forefront that we have to change. And so we have these fifth house topics, and it's a chance to set these intentions around these creative endeavors, these romantic connections, or these children related matters, or healing of your own inner child. The fifth house is where we want to take a risk and where we look for joy and pleasure. And so look to avoid overcommitting or financial or shared obligations, because having Jupiter in the in Gemini in your 8th house is like being scattered in too many places, and I cannot overcommit to these things. Also, on the same day, we're going to have Mercury in Pisces in a beautiful harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is in your partnership sector. So this is you with other people. And so this is going to be an opportunity to have these innovative ideas, like I got it, this makes sense, this breakthrough within romantic relationships or partnerships or in these creative collaborations. And there can be these unexpected opportunities for growth for these artistic ventures that can now arise. Maybe you take the side gig and turn it into something that you can sell and for a job, or maybe somebody else is invested, or maybe you meet somebody else along the way that you're working on these projects together. I know that February transits have the themes of transformation for you, which is nothing that you're not familiar with being a Scorpio. And it's about creativity, and it's about balancing your work and your day-to-day life balance dynamics. And so Scorpio, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to my website at willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Sagittarius, I want to start off with February 4th, 2025, in that Jupiter is now going to be moving direct. It's always important for you to follow Jupiter because that is your chart ruler. And so it's in your partnership sector. So where things have felt stalled, they can now start to move forward. So partnerships, relationships, all of these dynamics are now going to gain momentum. There's going to be opportunities for growth, for collaboration, both in personal and in your professional areas, and it's going to be all of your one-on-one connections that are now going to be able to expand. We also have the planet of Venus now moving into your 5th house of fun and joy and pleasure and like childlike activities. I love that Venus is going to be here because it's in a harmonious aspect to your 1st house of self. It's sparking excitement for romantic relationships and partnerships and creativity, and it's about you wanting to feel confident and you wanting to take the lead in things that are creative projects, like things that bring you joy and pleasure on a day-to-day basis. As we look to February 9th, we're now going to bring our attention to Mars in Cancer, and Mars in Cancer is still stationed retrograde. And so with this, it is going to be in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces. So this has to do with your home sector. And so Mars being retrograde since last December and feeling it well before that, the focus is on 8th house topics, which is about our deep connections that we have with other people. The 8th house is the house of transformation and healing after loss. It's about death. It's about sexuality. It's about taboo topics. It's our intimate connections that we have with other people. It's investments. It's taxes, inheritances. And so what this transit brings is positivity with emotional depth and this discipline that combines a support of your shared financial financial matters or your intimate connections that you have with other people, and the transformative processes that can come through healing. There can be these long-term effects that are related to home or to family or to emotional security that can stabilize, and now you can gain clarity. The bonus from this day is also going to be, there's going to be a Sun-Mercury cazimi. A cazimi is when a planet is in the heart of the sun or it's conjunct with the sun. And so it magnifies the energy. And so this is in your third house of communication. I love this for you because it's in a harmonious aspect to your house of identity. And so there can be this aha moment, I get it, a breakthrough in communication or learning or a local connection. It's neighbors, siblings, cousins, or things that are going on closer to home. It's about exciting ideas and these new perspectives that can lead to these actionable plans. Next, on February 12th, we have a full moon, and it's going to be at 24 degrees of Leo. So we have the sun in your third house of communication bringing up these topics. And then we have full moon endings, closures, culminations that has to do with traveling or other people with like cross-cultural experiences. This full moon comes with a square to Uranus. Uranus is shock and surprise, and I didn't see this coming. And so it's in your house of day-to-day living. And so this energy can really bring a culmination or an ending to, like, you could be graduating from a class or finishing a class or finishing travel or some type of a spiritual pursuit. You might feel inspired to share your beliefs, your thoughts, your ideas, or to finish a long-term project now. Be mindful of disruptions within your day-to-day routines. Focus on maintaining the balance between your own personal growth and your daily routines, making sure that you're taking enough time out for yourself and that you're not overextending yourself in other places. As we look to February 14th, we now bring our attention to Mercury entering into the sign of Pisces. Now, Mercury is going to be in your home sector, bringing the attention to enhanced imagination, and it's going to be about empathy with topics that have to do with home or family related matters. The fourth house revolves around our living situation, our ancestors. It's our personal life. And so this is really a good time to reflect on your roots, to nurture your emotional security, to create a harmonious home environment. And so this could be like decorating, or this could be diving into like your genealogy and wanting to, or just talking, sharing, and connecting. Then I want to talk about February 23rd. Now on the 23rd, we're going to have Mars finally moving direct. I'm excited about this. It's been retrograde for a long time and creating a lot of havoc, forcing us to stop and slow down. And so it's in a place where financial projects or intimate relationships have been under the magnifying glass. And so now you can have this forward momentum. Now it is in a harmonious aspect with Mercury in your home sector. And so we've got this forward momentum, ready to heal, ready to dive into topics that have to do, that were once delayed. And this could be with child support, alimony, debt, taxes. This is about ideas that are related to home, related to family, emotional stability, and now gaining the traction that can lead to this meaningful progress of either paying off this debt or uncovering these topics to move forward in these areas. So on the 27th, you're going to have this new moon, and it's going to be in the sign of Pisces at 9 degrees. So new moons are always fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings. I'm going to be doing a separate video on all of this because of this huge pileup of planets. So this area of your life is really going to be concentrated. This new moon is going to be square with Jupiter in Pisces. So square is going, those are tense points. And so what this new moon is bringing is focusing on your home, your foundation, a chance for you to set these intentions that revolve around your emotional well-being, your home life, your family matters, being mindful of not overextending yourself within your partnerships or with clients, focusing on realistic and achievable goals. Now, at the same time, we're also going to have Mercury in Pisces, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Taurus. I like this because this is basically saying, hey, I have this tense moment. This is going to be difficult for me, and I want to plant these new seeds. And then Mercury with Uranus is, oh, this is a great idea. This is intuitive. This is innovative. This is like how I can manage this, because the sixth house is taking care of and nurturing yourself, but also how can I be of service to other people? And it's organizing your day-to-day living. And so this is ideas emerging or daily routines taking on a new plan of their own. There could be these unexpected opportunities for health, for work, for improving your lifestyle that can all come up through this new moon. And so it's practicality and creativity that can bring this positive change for you. These transits for you, Aquarius, are highlighting themes for the month of February that have to do with relationships, emotional foundations, creative self-expression, all for balancing your personal and your partnership dynamics within your life. And it's looking for the key to success of finding a balance. So Sagittarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more information, join my Patreon community, and please subscribe. So for Capricorn, I want to draw your attention to February 4th, 2025. You now have Jupiter moving direct, and this is going to be in your sixth house of your day-to-day living. And you're also going to be having Venus entering into your fourth house of home, family, foundation. I love both of these things happening on the same day for you. Jupiter direct brings about this forward momentum for you in your work, in your self-care sector, in your health, in your daily routines. It's about these opportunities to improve your productivity and to adopt these healthier habits. They could be prioritizing self-care, that it brings these topics to the forefront, and now you can move forward with them. Along with this, having Venus move into the sign of Aries in your fourth house of home, it brings this warmth, this energy to your home life, to your family. To the fourth house revolves around your living situation. It's about your personal life. And so you might focus on improving your living situation or your living environment, and beautifying what's going on there, or strengthening your emotional bonds with your family members. As we look to February 9th, on the 9th, we now have Mars in Cancer. And remember, Mars is still retrograde, but it's in a harmonious aspect to Saturn in Pisces. I like this because Saturn is your chart ruler, so it's always important for you to be paying attention to what is he doing in your life. And so for you, we bring in topics of other people, partnerships, best friends, significant others. There's this balance between your passion, your desires, your discipline within your relationships, and the way that you are communicating. This is a really productive time for you to resolve any issues around partners or in improving your communication skills. Saturn is in your third house of neighbors, siblings, cousins, and your immediate community. So there can be these long-term commitments within partnerships or within your local or your community matters that can now stabilize with effort. Now, on the same day, you're also going to be having a Sun-Mercury cazimi. A cazimi is when a planet is in the heart of the sun. And so this is in an area of your life that has to do with money, cash, property, skill set, resources, things that you need in order to feel secure and safe about yourself. And so it's an aha moment. The sun is magnifying the information and saying, hey, you can have these breakthroughs with finances, with self-worth, with material security. You might receive like these flashes or insights that are ideas about opportunities that are related to your own income or resource management of like, what do you do with it? Like, where do you put your money? What is something worth? All right. Then on February 12th, I want to draw your attention to the full moon. So we're going to have a full moon at 24 degrees of Leo. Now, the sun still being in your second house is focusing on your money, your skill set, your finances, it's your possessions. And the full moon is going to be in your 8th house of shared resources. So this is like paying off debt, something coming to an end, something like a closure. There is a square, a tense point that's going to come from this. Now, squares, they're meant to draw our attention to an area that says, I'm going to make you so uncomfortable that you have to change something about this. And so the 8th house is the house of taboo topics. It's the house of death and sex. And so it's about emotional intensity, the moon, and it's emotional intensity around your shared finances, your shared debts, your intimate connections that you have with other people. You might reach a resolution or gain these deeper insights into these matters. There can be disruptions within creative projects or romantic relationships that can arise, something that has to do with children or childlike activities, or I'm encouraging you to focus on flexibility and innovation in order to navigate these challenges as they come up. Because remember, full moons reveal what we didn't see before. They uncover the hidden. Next, on February 14th, I want to draw your attention to Mercury is now going to be entering into the sign of Pisces. There's this Pisces pileup that's going on. Now, this is in a harmonious aspect to your 1st house of self. Having Mercury in your 3rd house of communication with neighbors, siblings, cousins, it's the house of you communicating with people on a day-to-day basis. And so it brings about increased imagination, it's empathy in the way that you communicate with other people, understanding where they're coming from. This is going to be a great time for creative writing or learning, taking a class, taking a workshop, or having these meaningful conversations that are intimate with others, them understanding you, you understanding them. Next, on February 23rd, we're going to have Mars now moving direct in the sign of Cancer. I'm super excited about this because it's been retrograde for so long, and this is in your partnership sector. So I know that you have been feeling it. Mars wants to cut, sever, remove. Now it is in a harmonious aspect with Mercury in Pisces. And so I like this, that it's going to station direct. It's going to free some things. You're going to have this forward momentum, this feeling within partnerships. This can be best friends, significant others, clients, people that you collaborate with. The 7th house is the partnership, but this can be personal and professional. And so issues that you had with partners or within close relationships or things that were once stalled, negotiations or contracts, they can now start to clear up and move forward. There can be this creative communication, these ideas that involve others that can now gain traction, leading to these productive outcomes. I'm super excited about this. Then on the 27th, we're going to have this new moon. Now, this new moon is in the sign of Pisces. And it's a fresh start, clean slate, new beginning. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a huge pileup here of Pisces planets. I'm going to have a separate video on that because that's a lot of attention to be paying to this one area of your life. And this is bringing a time for you to set intentions around the way that you communicate with others, the way that you collaborate, the way that you learn, your community, your family members, your neighbors, your siblings, your cousins, the way that you get involved with others. Now, this is in a difficult aspect. It's in a square with Jupiter in your day-to-day living, in your finding a balance, having to nurture and care for yourself, self-care basically. And so there's this square. So it's about an opportunity for you to say, I need to avoid overcommitting to others, either at work or with my daily tasks. And I need to focus on the most achievable goals I need to focus on self-care first. Now, at the same time, we have Mercury in Pisces in a harmonious aspect with Uranus. So we have this difficult aspect saying, I need you to change. And then this is where the change can come from. We're still talking about the way that you communicate, but Uranus gives you this breakthrough moment. It's aha, it's shock, it's surprise. I didn't think about that. It's these intuitive flashes, these intuitive breakthroughs, and these creative solutions in the way that you communicate or within local projects. There can be unexpected opportunities in creative endeavors that you have with other people or things that you want to get involved in. Romantic relationships can now come up, or projects that involve children or tapping into your own inner child can now come from this transit. These transits for the month of February for you focus on home, they focus on partnerships, they focus on communication. There are opportunities this month for growth within work-life balance for you and in your personal relationships. So Capricorn, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays for astrology consultations at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For a private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community membership, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Aquarius, I want to bring your attention to February 4th, 2025. Jupiter is now going to be moving direct in your 5th house of fun and joy and play and creativity. And you're going to have Venus entering into the sign of Aries, your 3rd house of communication and who you want to connect with on a day-to-day basis. I absolutely love both of these things going on at the same time because it's about doors opening back up, opportunities within creativity or romance with lovers, with hobbies. They now begin to flourish again. This is really a great time to focus on your own self-expression, sharing your passions, your desires, and then I want you to focus on this Venus in Aries also, because this is about bringing harmony. This is an excitement with the way that you're communicating, who you're sharing these ideas with. This is learning and connecting with siblings or within your local community. So both of these things I'm just like over the moon happy about. As we look to February 9th, we now bring in topics of Mars and Cancer. Now remember, Mars is still retrograde, going back over our day-to-day habits, breaking habits, making sure that we are setting self-care as a priority. It is in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces. It's in a trine. Saturn is in your 2nd house of self-worth, cash, property, skill set, money, resources. And so I like this in that it's about emotional energy is going to support the steady progress of your work, your health, your financial matters. Mars in your 6th house is I have to balance my work and my day-to-day living and make sure that I'm not giving too much and not focusing on my own well-being here. And so this transit's going to help with the you focusing on the practical steps in order for you to build this financial stability and while maintaining this balance with your daily routines. At the same time, you are going to be having a cazimi, a Sun-Mercury cazimi in your 1st house of who you are. I love this. A cazimi is when the Sun meets up with Mercury or another planet and it magnifies and intenses that energy. And it's like crystal clarity. I get it. I see it. And so having the Sun in your 1st house, we know that this is all about you, all about your identity, all about your goals, you being seen. And so it's a culmination of personal growth and self-expression, and there's these new ideas, new identity, goals around being excited, or some things that can inspire you to take these bold steps. Be ready for the bold action. Let's make it happen. So this cazimi is going to give you the courage that's needed to move into the next step. All right. Now, February 12th, we're going to look at a full moon. Now, the full moon is going to be at 24 degrees of Leo. And so the Sun still focused on you. The full moon is going to be in your partnership sector. Full moons bring endings, closures, culminations. This one comes with a square to Uranus in your fourth house of home. Now, Uranus is the ruler, your chart ruler, so it's always important for you to be following where Uranus is at. And so this full moon comes with shock and surprise, like revealing some things. There can be a culmination or an ending in a relationship. This could be that client no longer needs your service, or that friend moves away, or this is about partnerships, business partners, significant others, open-ended relationships that you have with other people, exes. And so you might gain clarity about what your needs are and about healthy boundaries. Be mindful of sudden disruptions, and this could include something that has to do with your home, your family. Practice patience and look to be flexible in order to navigate these challenges, because there's something about you and somebody else and the home sector that's being revealed, like some kind of an ending, closure, culmination. All right. Now, on February 14th, we have Mercury entering into the watery sign of Pisces. Now, this is your money sector, your cash, your skill set. And so this is about an increased imagination and intuition when it comes to your financial matters. Use this time to reflect upon your values, explore creative ways to enhance your income or your skill set. Remember, the second house is your salary, it's sensual pleasures, it's your possessions, it's what you want and need in order to feel safe and secure. Then on February 23rd, we're looking at Mars now moving direct. I'm excited about this because Mars has been retrograde since December, and it was in shadow before that. And so Mars moving direct in Cancer at the same time is going to be in a harmonious aspect with Mercury in Pisces. So we know that this has something to do with your money, your skill set, your investments of like investing like talents and salary and resources, your resources. And the sixth house now saying, I'm going to move forward with momentum with health and work routines. Hopefully you have overcome the need to I'm taking care of others to the detriment of my own health, and I need to focus on routines that were once stalled. I need to have a healthy balance between my home and my work. I need to have clear communication and creativity to help improve my financial stability and my daily productivity, because now Mars is going to move forward, and it's like I was stalled, I felt stagnant, I felt held back, and now I get the green light. I can move forward. As we look to February 27th, we're now going to have this new moon, and it's at 9 degrees of Pisces. And I don't know if you can see this, but there is this beautiful, huge Pisces pile up here. I'm going to have a separate video on that because this is a lot of Piscean energy. This is a lot of water. And this is in your second house of money and cash and property and resources. And so this one is going to be square to Jupiter in your fifth house of children or creativity or childlike activities, art, music, beauty, love. And so this is going to be a chance for you to set your intentions on building financial growth, building your sense of self-worth, and avoiding overcommitting or in creative or in romantic pursuits. Focus on how do I manage my goals. Now, at the same time, because that's the difficult part that comes with planting this new seed, you're going to have Mercury in a harmonious aspect with Uranus. So this is like part of the solution. Mercury's still in your second house you're working with. It's like I have these intuitive flashes, these intuitive breakthroughs, because Uranus is shock and surprise and awe. I didn't plan on it. And it's about financial or home related topics or matters. There can be these unexpected opportunities that you can use to improve your living situation and to enhance your own stability that can now come from setting these new intentions. Remember, Aquarius, that these transits are emphasizing themes around personal growth, creativity, financial stability for you, balancing relationships with your responsibilities. And so, Aquarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. To learn more, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe. So for Pisces, I want to draw your attention to February 4th, 2025, where you are now going to have Jupiter moving direct, and it's in your 4th house of home and family and roots and foundation. It's your living situation, and you're going to have Venus move into your 2nd house of your cash, your property, your skill set. I absolutely love both of these things focused on happening at the same time, because now momentum is going to resume within home and family and property matters for you. You might explore different opportunities that have to do with improving your living situation or strengthen your emotional foundation. Having Venus in Aries here brings about this energy of charm and to your financial matters or your personal values. You might feel inspired to truly take charge of your finances and find the joy in material comforts, like looking out, this makes me feel good, I want to purchase this. As we look to February 9th, we're going to have Mars in a harmonious aspect. So Mars is in Cancer, but remember it's still retrograde going back, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Saturn in Pisces. This is important because it's in your 1st house of who you are. It's your identity. Now, this brings into topics that have to do with a balanced approach with creativity, romance, self-expression, you combining passion with discipline, you making steady progress in your personal projects or within your hobbies. And there can be these relationships with self-growth that can benefit and from the focus on your long-term planning. The 5th house revolves around topics of, it could be a lover, it could be art, music, beauty, love, children, and the 1st is all about you. Now, at the same time, we're going to have this Sun-Mercury cazimi. So a cazimi is when a planet is in the heart of the sun, and it literally intensifies and magnifies for the message to be given. Yours is in your 12th house, and so this is really insights into your subconscious patterns. It's dreams, intuitive flashes, psychic abilities. It's a insight into these hidden matters. It's a breakthrough in understanding or in healing that could really inspire you to take a decisive action in order to move forward. As we look at February 12th, we now have a full moon at 24 degrees of Leo. The sun still focused on 12th house topics, hidden, and the full moon is endings, closures, culminations that have to do with your health, mental health, physical health, balancing home and work. This one comes with a square to the Aquarius ruler of Uranus. And so the theme of this is a culmination in work or health or daily routines. Like something is going to be revealed, something is going to end, this aha moment. You might experience progress or recognition for your efforts in this area, but be mindful of unexpected disruptions. Uranus is the maverick. And so it's in the way that things are communicated or in short-term plans. And so flexibility is going to need to be key here. As we look to February 14th, we now have Mercury entering into the sign of Pisces. Yay, your 1st house of self, your identity. I love this for you because this is heightened intuition, self-expression. You can use this time to refine your personal goals, to present yourself with like greater empathy and imagination. I absolutely love Mercury here for you. Then on February 23rd, I want to look at Mars direct. So Mars now moving direct, where it's been retrograde since last December, and then in shadow before that. Mars direct, and it's in a harmonious aspect with Mercury and Pisces. So both of these things are going to happen at the same time. So it has to do with creativity, but it also has intimately about you. And so this is about creative and romantic energy that's going to begin to flow again for you. It's art and music and beauty, and allowing you to move forward with stalled projects or stalled relationships. The self-expression and personal goals are now going to be more in alignment, making this easier for you to communicate your desires and for you to take action. Now, on the 27th, we're going to have this new moon in your first house of self. Now, there's this huge pileup here that I'm going to have a separate video on, but this new moon is all about you. Fresh starts, clean slates, new beginnings, and this one comes with a square to Jupiter, something that has to do with home, family, and foundation. And so this is a powerful opportunity for you to set these intentions for personal growth within your identity, within your appearance. Be mindful of balancing your home and your family commitments with your personal goals. Now, at the same time, you're going to have Mercury in a harmonious aspect with Uranus. And so Uranus is remember, shock, surprise in the way that we communicate. And so I like this because it's intuitive, it's innovative ideas that can now enhance your communication with neighbors and siblings and cousins and people that are within your close community. You leaning into your authentic self, you wanting to learn. This has to do with self-expression. There could be these unexpected opportunities that can arise within local or community projects that encourage creative problem solving and adaptability for you. The transits of this month for you focus on personal growth, creativity, and balancing your home and your work life. This is really going to be a month where you're going to need to focus on embracing your intuition and set these intentions to move forward with clarity. So Pisces, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Join me live on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, go to willowgracemystic.com. For more, check out my Patreon community, and don't forget to subscribe.